Greetings, petrol heads. Welcome back to Automation, the car company tycoon game. Now, I was asked to build, well, I actually mentioned this before, a 1979 supercar that competes with the Lamborghini Countach and, well, what cars can you really compare to the Lamborghini Countach? But here it is. It's a supercar. It's called the Bolt Mark II. And it has insane styling, really insane styling. Big vents everywhere, pop-up headlights. Look at those big vents, a roof scoop, a bonnet hump. Yeah, if you see this thing in your rear mirror, you're gonna let it pass. that's all I can say. Yeah, and then on the back we have two. This time upwards pointing exhausts that are also pretty big. Yeah, and then some red taillights, reverse lights, indicators, big vents. Yeah. This thing looks ready to race. Although, if you look closely, you know that this thing does not have any lips. Obviously no wings, that so much is already apparent, but does not have any lips either, and that is for better top speed. But now let's look what this thing is actually made of. So it's got a transversely mounted mid-engine V8 or mid-transverse mounted V8. It's a flat plane V8, double wishbone all around, fiberglass body with a steel space frame. It is obviously a rear-wheel drive, there's no other option. And that V8 is a small flat-plane V8, it's a 3-liter. And it's turbocharged. Yeah, keep in mind this is 70s turbocharging, so yeah, nothing happening until about 4,000 RPM. But then, once the turbo wakes up, it's gonna fly. It makes 380 horsepower, 300 pound-feet of torque. It also uses total overhead cams with 4 valves per cylinder, just like in 4 engines. And yeah, this is a more expensive engine setup because it's going to be a more expensive car. And yeah, again, lots of power, lots of torque, and actually not a bad torque curve once the turbos hit boost. And since we're aiming towards competing with a Countach, you know, which really isn't a cheap car in its own right, I think it's okay if this car has an expensive engine. Pretty long gearing, 5 speeds, a very high top speed for its era. That's the one thing we needed to keep in mind, is that the Countach LP400 with the 4-liter engine would already reach 309 kilometers an hour, and that was crazy. We got 235mm rear tires, still making quite a bit of wheel spin, but it's not insane amounts of wheel spin. We got 2 piston vented discs up front and 2 pistons on the rear. We got a fully clad undertray to help us with that top speed. We got 2 sport seats, no entertainment. You really don't need your. Don't even try listening to your 8-track in this car because you won't be able to hear it. Standard springs, gas monotube dampers, and pretty much about as sporty setup here as it goes, because if I make it any more, it'll start oversteering upon corner entry, and we don't really want that. We don't want to kill our customers with a car this powerful anyway. So 3.7 seconds 0 to 100. Now let's go to the corner mile first. 3.7 seconds 0 to 100. 11.7 second quarter mile time. And obviously, the big advantage this thing has over the Countach is the weight. 1007 kilograms, because it's made from fiberglass, not pig iron. And it's also, I think, a little bit smaller than a Countach. Yeah, probably. But yeah, it's so much lighter, and it has the same, pretty much the same power output. So it flies when you floor it, and the turbo kicks in. It's not the most drivable car, but in the world of like supercars slash hypercars, that's not too bad. It doesn't matter as much. How many times have you said, have you heard car magazines say that you know, Countach is so bad at handling and so undrivable that it might actually kill people or something along those lines? How many times have you heard that? A lot of times. Let's just see this thing pull up to close to its top speed. Okay, I'm gonna stop now because my ears are bleeding. But yeah, this thing is incredibly fast for its time, and it is also pretty expensive. I've added a 150% markup because this thing is built to make us the money. We're not gonna sell many of those, but the ones we sell are supposed to make us a lot of money. I've not assigned these guys yet. It's okay. I want a lot of guys here who are good with space frames. Although the suspension expert is also really good. Martin Hermann. Okay, that's der Bayer. And trim, do we need anything here? Not really. I mean, drivetrain could be good. Let's take him. But I'm focusing a little bit more on the chassis, or a lot more on the chassis, I should say. This guy from Sweden, of course, also really good at safety. Obviously, we want to produce these like a lot or very efficiently. Like, you gotta know what you're doing if you want to be working on this car. That's what I'm getting at. Shall we make this limited production? I guess we're not going to be selling very many of those anyway, and it's going to be a small factory, so I don't see the need to make this a limited production, although it would reduce engineering time and costs significantly. Yeah, let's make this a limited production model. Team lead. We need a dual overhead cam expert, sure. Need a turbocharged expert, turbocharging expert. We need somebody else who is good with, forged, who is good with bottom ends, not just for the ladies. We're gonna take the UK master. We're gonna take the metallurgy expert seems very useful. Sure. Okay. Cars made per day is 6. Yeah, I guess we're not gonna be producing very many more than that, because 6 cars per day means about 2,000 cars a year. Sure. 7 engines per day. Okay, just in case one breaks. Whoa! It's a lot more expensive now. Okay. $101,000 in today's money. I don't know how much that is in 1979. But yeah, I guess it's probably around the same price as a Countach at this point. And it deserves to be because it's fast with a capital F. And yeah, it has crazy styling, probably not to, definitely not to everyone's likings, but if you're gonna be trying to compete with a Countach, that's pretty much what you gotta do. So hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Leave a like or a comment if you did. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.